As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where SabrinaAI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Peace, peace, peace. What up, everybody? You see it. Yeah, you see it. It's the three-headed dragons in the building. They didn't believe it was possible. But the three-headed dragon. Look up the three-headed dragon. It's a remarkable, mystical story, right? It's about three different ways of viewing things, three perspectives, right? So that's what this is. We have three different perspectives of the notary industry, and you guys will be able to disseminate however you want to see it, and it's going to be wonderful, man. I'm glad everybody is here. How you guys feeling? TEKK, how you feeling? You feeling today, man?
Yeah, man, this is like the locks.
Yeah.
back in '98,
baby.
Hey, I'm chic loose though.
Chic loose at bars, yo. Chic, people sleep on chic loose at bars, man. Now happy to be.
Truth be told, Chic is my favorite.
Yeah, chic is my favorite.
Chic has bars, and he has good albums. He has good his albums are heavy. But happy to be here with you two, fellow warlocks. If we're going 98, let's call them the warlocks. If we're gonna go there, happy to be here with you, great guys. Happy Wednesday to YouTube and the replay gang, Instagram gang. I know y'all put out clips everywhere. Shout out to y'all. Y'all don't play around with the clips.
Nah, bro. We ain't playing around with nothing, man.
It's like the forecast. It's like the forecast. We'll let you know when it'll be heat. When it'll be rain, we'll let you know.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Shout out to Sabrina.
Who on here, man? Shout out to She Is Pure Love 333. I see you with your angel number on there. I see you on Instagram. She said all the goats.
The goats. Shout out to we're on IG too. Shout out to the IG crew.
Whoop, whoop. So yo, I got segments. I got a trivia on here for us.
Ooh.
So you know, everybody can participate. If you guys want a better experience and you want to see your comments pop up on the live, I would recommend just jumping on YouTube. That way I can spotlight you guys, and you know, if you have your picture, I could pop it up and it'll look real fly, real fresh. But Dre, man, how are you, brother?
Man, I am moving and grooving on the road. You see me in the whip. You see me in the whip, man, out here getting to it, getting it done, brother. Gym appointments, notary appointments, YouTube appointments. We getting it done.
How important is it to you that you work out?
Oh, working out is up there with eating for me. So I actually just made a video about that. I had an illness, was diagnosed with an illness, not contagious illness, but serious.
Yeah.
The last quarter of last year. So I didn't think I was gonna actually make it into this year. I thought it was over.
Serious?
And yeah, I thought it was over. And when you think it's over for an extended time period, and not like a one occurrence where, oh my God, my left eye struck my eyes. When you think of like a few months of that, it will give you a newfound perspective on life. So working out is essentially just as important as eating and sleeping for me. Literally.
Man, shout out
Um,
to cheating death.
Shout out to cheating death. Shout out to cheating death. But you see here, the stamp will travel, baby. Stamp will travel. The stamp with me.
Dre had his stamp in the hospital bed and shit. Yeah.
I probably did. It's a habit. Where I go, it goes.
I'd be in one arm and stamp in the other. He's like, yo, come meet me at room 222.
Yeah, he had the journal pulled out on the side of the hospital bed. He was out there.
Hey, come meet me in ER 45. Come meet me in ER 40.
Come out with your hospital robe on and shit. Pulling the IV. He's like, yo, don't worry about it. You gotta.
That is funny.
I said, can you come to the hospital? He said, I'm already there. He said, look next door.
I got blue pens and black, baby. Blue and black.
TEKK, turn your volume up a little bit. You sound a little bit low, bro.
Yeah. He said, come to the hospital room. He said, I'm already there. But yeah, man,
All right.
Dre, I'm happy that you're doing better, though, man. It's good to see
I
you.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
So I thought it'd be fun. Let's start off with something fun, Dre. Let's start off with the Notary Trivia Challenge.
Ooh, okay. Oh, okay.
And participants, you guys can participate on Instagram. We're streaming on Facebook as well. YouTube will give you a really good experience because we're using StreamYard, and they'll let us post your comments up. So we're going to start with the first question of the Notary Trivia Challenge. Dre, this question is for you.
All right, let's do it.
When was the first recorded use of the notary of a notary in history?
I have no
It's a hard
idea.
question. It's a hard question. We starting off hard.
Can you give me a decade? Can we do like a multiple choice?
Okay, I'll give you a couple of places, 3 places. Africa,
Okay.
Rome,
Oh, where?
or England.
Ooh. Oh, where? Where? England.
Okay, so I'm not too good with this geography. Maybe Rome is in England. I don't know.
No. Rome is in Europe, though. Rome is in Europe, but it's not.
Okay,
It's not
gotcha.
quite English.
So the answer is ancient Rome around 535 AD.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Okay. Shout out to the trivia.
Yeah. TEKK, this one's for you. Fact or fiction? Statement. Hold on, let me throw this back up there. The statement is a notary public can notarize documents in any state, regardless of where they are commissioned. Fact or
They can-
fiction?
I'm gonna go. It's a fact that a notary can notarize anything in any state. But however, it's a fiction that they might do it and then turn around and think that they can go to jail and then get sued and then end up, behind bars. And I think they might try to pull it off. But should they do it? Now, should you do it? No, you probably not. So I'm gonna go fiction.
So you're gonna go with fiction?
I'm gonna go with fiction.
Ding, 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 ding. You're correct. You are correct, brother. All right. And again, you guys could participate on this one. All right. True or false, Dre? A notary can refuse to notarize a document if they suspect the signer is being coerced.
Very true.
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah,
Knocking this out the box, man.
yeah, we got
All right,
lie
we
detector
got
testimony.
we got two more. Tech, true or false? A notary can notarize a document for a family member.
I'm gonna go. If your auntie comes to you and asks you to turn the other cheek and can you put your name on this document, I'm gonna say the answer is true.
So you said the answer is true that a notary
Answer's
can
true.
notarize a document for a family member.
Now, should you do it? Again, should you do it? It's up to you, but ain't nothing illegal about you notarizing your auntie's documents.
So the answer is
Oh,
false, brother. False.
wow. Oh,
Yep. It says while the answer is this is generally discouraged due to potential conflicts of interest.
I'm sure there's a Toledo on a Toledo document somewhere.
Yeah, it's one of them catch me if you can kind of situations with tech.
So technically, generally discouraged and can't do it. Are those the same
That
things?
is true. That is true. That is true. All right, last one. Dre, this is for you.
All right.
Can a notary can notarize a document without the signer being physically present?
No.
That is
False.
correct. Ding, 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 ding,
Don't
ding,
do
ding.
it.
That is a false question. Thank you for joining our our notary trivia challenge. Hopefully, you guys know on that one, man.
So I got to follow up on that though. So what if it's my cousin, but then it turns out to be this ain't really my cousin because my dad lied and said that was my cousin, that we were related, but we were not related. Is it a conflict of interest still, or is it on paper?
I would say it would come down to if the document gets contested or not.
Yeah.
If it never gets contested, then like the state ain't gonna inquire about it or really care. But if a family member says, you know what, they're related and that was illegal what they did, then you might be in some hot water. Then they might just throw that case out.
I could just see people watching this saying, "Tech don't know what he's talking about. He's giving out wrong information to notaries. Oh my God, I'm gonna call the Secretary of State on
man. Hey, like they need to lighten up, bro.
I'm just playing.
Come on,
we just having fun here. I can see people right now just getting tight, going to pull out some statutes and some notary sections of their the Arkansas handbook. I could just see it right now, but y'all
they would hate me, bro, because I tap dance in the gray area. I'm comfortable.
Well, that's the thing. Strongly discouraged and against the law are different things.
That's right.
The law is the law, and we advise not to are different things.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, all right, Drake, I have a question because, it's rare that we have you on here, but when we do, I always want to ask you the question of, because you're a visionary, how do you see the notary industry unfolding with everything that's going on nowadays, with the RON, with AI being introduced now, with electronic filings and, all people doing e-logs and stuff like that? What do you see happening in the notary industry from now and let's just say the next year or two?
Great question. I think as popular as Ron is, I wouldn't be shocked if it gets rolled back a little bit.
Okay.
And here's why. Once there are, and I saw that this actually happened with a lady in her land that if a lot of online notaries turn out to be fraudulent, I think they're gonna roll back to the more in-person stuff. It wouldn't shock me. Let me put it like that. It wouldn't shock me.
Mhm.
Once a few wealthy people start losing stuff, I wouldn't be shocked if it rolled back to more in-person notarizations. I have a funny feeling. Could be wrong, but I have a funny feeling that that might become more prevalent. So you have to understand, for everyone who's new here, we could be signing someone's documents and taking out a $350,000 HELOC. Three-
Oh, I think we froze up a little bit. Yeah, I think we froze up.
I'm back.
There we go.
All right, or $3 million cash out refi on the property, and if that money goes to the wrong people because they did an online notarization, it just wouldn't shock me, man. It wouldn't shock me if they started to do more, get back to more in person notarizations.
Mm. What about you, TEKK?
Yeah, all it takes is one mess up. That's all it takes. And what's going to happen is some lawyer will make an example out of that
Mm.
family, that notary, that person who committed the fraud. All it takes is one. And I think Dre is right. It might be mass adopted. It might feel like it's mass adopted now, but as soon as things start to catch on, all it takes is one example where somebody contests whether or not that person was in their right mind. How did the notary know that they were really there? Then you have AI with these people with these. I mean, you can go onto certain websites and I could clone we were cloning ourselves back in 2021. It's like we were doing that stuff way long ago. It's way better now. We were taking images of ourselves and creating videos with just our mouths moving with just a still image. Like, I mean, I've seen the advancement of that technology just evolve so quickly. And then you throw in the fact that people are motivated. Like, all notary is about money. You heard me say this 100 times. All notary is about money. I don't know if you guys got that twisted or not, but when somebody does a $350,000 HELOC in an $8 million estate with their grandfathers or grandmothers passing on with the baby boomer generation, and all of a sudden you want to take up residence in China, and now you want to execute something across. You say, I can't be there. Well, I'm in Japan right now. I'm just going to execute the notarization and then have this person's all their assets transferred up to Switzerland. Like, there's so many loopholes and so many opportunities for people to commit, these acts that are not in good faith. So it just takes one. It just takes one, and then I can see what Dre's talking about, man. This stuff, it just gets rolled back. And now all of a sudden, the notary laws are updated and changed to where, again, you have to appear. Like, nothing's going to beat you coming in live person. Nothing's going to substitute you seeing an actual living, breathing person.
Yeah, I agree. So, next question, right? Dre, how long you been doing this notary thing, this entrepreneur thing?
Notary thing will be 20 years in September. I can't believe I'm
Wonderful,
saying that.
man.
20 years in September. Wow.
How you said 22?
In September, it'll be 20 years. 20 years. So I'll be 43 in April. Yeah.
So, in the 20 years that you've been doing this, what would you say the top 3 challenges you've seen notaries have to deal with on an ongoing basis? The top 3.
All right. Now, self-imposed challenges or challenges from the outside world? Because those are two different
If you were to take 100 notaries, like 90% of them just all experience these 3 things.
All right.
External or internal?
Yeah. Okay. Internal, they don't think people will pay them.
Mm.
Let's just stop there for a second.
Yeah.
People still think people won't pay them. And here's why.
Mhm.
Because a few reasons. Their cousin told them it won't work. It's always a fucking cousin or an aunt. Don't ask me why. Said that it won't work. There's a notary at the bank. Um, that's one. Two, they don't pay for stuff, so they think people won't pay them.
Mm.
So when you're cheap, you think everybody else is cheap.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. When you're cheap, you think everyone else is cheap, so you say, "Well, I would never do this," and you don't realize that you're not your clientele. Um, then the fear of competition would be the third. The fear of competition would be the third. So those are all internal. Um, well, honestly, I would put fourth. I know you asked me for three, but fourth is the fear of paperwork. I didn't know people have such a big fear of paperwork, bro. People fear messing up, which is why I created a sign and set with confidence. To be honest with you, because people would do the marketing, we would get on Google, do the Yelp, have the cold call, strip shop the tiger, and I'm like, yo, why didn't you? You got the logo, like what's that? You're great. I didn't want to mess up, so you spent $800 to get all this stuff in order, got your license, and you froze because you didn't want to mess up signing the document. So, Tiger, those four things I would say are the biggest.
All right. That tune there. Nobody know with that tune.
Your soundboard is so funny.
No, I tell you how ahead of the curve you are, man. Because here's the thing: when I first started in the notary in business, I took your course, best course I've ever taken, right? And
I appreciate it.
there was
2017. You were 2017, 2016. You were early.
Yeah.
16, 17. Yeah.
So check this out. There was a part in your course that you said, "Hey, look, man, people are gonna doubt you," like how you said the speaking cousin on the side, because you never really know who's chitter chattering in your ear. And I kid you not, man, you were so on point, because my wife even said nobody gonna pay that type of money. My sister-in-law said nobody gonna pay that. My cousin said there's no way people are paying that type of money for a stamp on a document. And after they saw, when I started rolling out your methods and your strategies and stuff, and my phone is ringing off the hook, and they're seeing me close these deals on the phone for a buck and change, and they're like, hold up. All three of them became notaries, bro. They all became.
I was gonna say that next. I was saying, did they become notaries?
You know what I mean? Like, they was like, all right, you made us into believers and shit. And I started farming workout today ass. You know what I mean? But
so I was dating a lawyer. I appreciate it. I was dating a lawyer in the early 2010, 12-ish, and she actually laughed at what I was doing. She was like, "Yeah, notary. Like, how to tell my friends about this?" I was like, "All right." She saw me do some jobs. She saw some paychecks coming in from some law firm. She got her license. People don't get it. People don't get it, and which is, I'm actually okay with people not getting it. But what kind of annoys me is the I don't get it.
Yo, we lost him, but he'll come back. But in the meantime, he talked about the fear of paperwork. I think that's a big one. You talked about what people will pay you and how your family members will doubt you and tell you how people won't pay for you. And you're 100% on point with that. The paperwork thing is, I think that's a real big one too. I didn't expect him to say that. But yeah, man, people will pay $800 to take these courses, which is packed with, the value is like 15 times that. The $800 is pennies compared to what you're going to walk away with and how you're able to pay yourself for the rest of your life. Like, let's not even go there, but let's just say you get all of this preparation and then you get a phone call and then you just freeze. It's because of the fear that I didn't know what order they should go in. It's that level of self-doubt and that level of fear that it just handcuffs people. And I thought that was just, I thought it was profound. It's very simple and it seems very surface level, but to me, that's profound. I just met with a notary who was 22 years in the game, and she still is, she said that she advises other people about how to complete loan docs. And she said that's one of the biggest things that she comes across in contact too. It's people who are just, they refuse work because they are afraid of messing up.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Did you have fear with your documents in the beginning when you first started?
Man, I'm gonna be 100%. Yeah, I did. I did have fear because not because of the order of documents that it should go in, because Dre said something very important in his course as well. He said, just like what you were referring to, he said something that I caught on, and I don't know how many people caught this, but he said two things. He said, number one, if you were good at whatever you did prior to this, and as many people may know, I came from the medical field, and you're going to be good at this. So Dre, welcome back.
Sorry about that.
We were talking about you said something very profound. It seemed you didn't really go deep into it, but the fear of paperwork.
Fear of paperwork. People say, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to mess up. I'm like, okay, just check their ID. You're not going to go to jail. Get a journal. You're not going to go to jail. But it's kind of like the job thing. And
yes.
I heard you guys could have heard you guys mention the loan closings and what Tyler called the Jim Jones Kool-Aid. I'll never forget that. And people think they're going to get fired. Like, no, you do it again or give them a refund, apologize, and just keep it going. But why are you letting $100K a year, let's go cheap, 30, 40K a year? You're letting that inhibit your ability because you're afraid to mess up also paperwork, bro. It doesn't equate. It doesn't equate. And here's the deal. Online in life you can find in life and online and in real life you can find winners and you can find losers. You can find people who will encourage you, and you could just as easily find people, maybe even easier, find people who will tell you it won't work. You got to pick your tribe, bro, because they're all there. Who are you going to go with?
Yeah, Tiger asked me a question. He said, was I fearful? And I said, in the beginning,
you were a little bit.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah. and then Dre said something. He said two things. Number one, if you were good at whatever you did before this, then have confidence that you're going to be even better at this. And
yeah, how many degrees do you have?
Man, I've got one bachelor's, I got one master's, and I have a national certification, and I also have specialized training that only about maybe fewer than 300 people in the entire country have. So
exactly, that's my point. People got freaking master's degrees, but they don't want to sign a loan document. Like, man, get out of here.
So when he said that you're going to be good at this, he said you're going to be great at this. Like, that gave me confidence. And then he also said something else that I still hold on to this. He says, man, if you come across something and you don't understand it, read it again. If you can read, then you'll be fine. And I was like, that's all I needed to hear.
Bingo.
I was like, I can read. I think I can read. So let me just. That takes me so far, because people in every appointment, they always say, hey man, can you tell us where to sign? When the notary gets here, can you have the notary help us and tell us where to sign? And I say the same thing. I say, how about this? How about you read it first?
That's good. How's it going?
But it
How's
just
it
goes back
going?
to what Dre said, which is, hey man, if you don't know what you're doing, yo, read it. Can you read?
Sit,
If you can't read, you
sit
got bigger
down.
problems.
Sit down. And the due diligence. This is a due diligence business. This is sit down and prepare. If you're prepared, fam, you're ahead of 90% of other people if you're just simply prepared.
So let me ask you this, Dre. Do you feel like the earning potential has increased in the notary industry since when you started?
It hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, no, it's only yeah.
Because some people out there believe that like they're making less and less money in the notary industry, and I'm like,
So
no, no. There's way more opportunities now than ever.
so I'll say this. It might have been easier to make money then. I'll kind of go with that because there were less people. But
Okay.
you got to pivot in life. People just quit tech. They just quit. I'm gonna give up because now I actually have to work. And for the people who came in during the refinance boom, who were doing 3, 5, 1,000 a day, and then then when that slowed down, they actually had to pivot to fingerprinting or apostille or God forbid cold call some companies. But and let's even say that they took a dip financially. Most businesses do have dips. Not everything is always up, up, up. Sometimes there is a dip, but people don't pivot because if you get into something when it's easy, when it gets tough, a lot of people will say, "Oh God, now I got to work." Marriage, marriage,
Hmm.
man. It was rocking and rolling, but now, man, I can't stand her. She can't stand me. You're gonna bounce or you're gonna stick it out because the next person you marry, you're also gonna have the same issues with. It's stick to itiveness,
Yeah.
knowing when to pivot, when to adjust. But somebody, so real simple, guys, right? Somebody is going to pay somebody $350 for an estate planning package with 2 witnesses. Someone's going to do it. Now, let's say before you were at top of Google, now you're not. Okay, now you got to go to the hospital or nursing home with the QR code, business card, and piece stuff. Now you have to go to the law firm. Now you got to do something, but someone's still going to pay it. But are you going to make yourself findable for the people who are going to pay you? Most people aren't, which is why when they say, ain't no money anymore, it's tough now, competition, I just don't buy it because you aren't doing the stuff you need to do.
Mm.
You ain't doing it.
So
If you,
yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
Continue, please.
if you called 20 escrow, it's 20 in total too.
Mhm.
Escrow, loan officers, title, abstract companies a day. Those are 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 100 a week. Are you telling me that you can't get 10 to 20 of those people to call you on an ongoing basis? I'm going low here. 10 to 20. You know they need you.
Yeah.
Who's going to call them? I ain't calling them. I ain't cold call. All right, cool. People are weak. Then they
So,
complain.
so how do you change that? Like if you are if these are people that are coming into your program and then you're realizing like their self-confidence is shot, they have whack ass people in their ear telling them that they can't succeed at this, you won't make this money, nobody's gonna pay for that. I know you're masterful at changing people's mindset. How
Mm.
how are you able to like what gives you your confidence to be so confident that you know that you can change other people's confidence level to attack this business? I know
Great
it's
question.
a loaded question, but
No,
you
that's a great question, too.
you've come out the gate. I'll say this, bro. You've come out the gate bold and confident off the rip. And truth be told, is if I I'm very good in detecting people's energy and seeing if they're
You are.
confident in what they're saying.
You are.
If they come across weak or I'm not gonna say alpha or anything like that, but you definitely like alpha. But
Hmm.
if I can read a person's energy and be like, this nigga don't know what he's talking about, man. He just saying something just so he could do whatever. But you came out with a high level of confidence to the point where I felt like, okay, I could trust this guy. How do you that level of confidence and then transfer that over to someone that is lacking the confidence to attack this business the way they should to make the type of money that they are supposed to make?
Well, I am a master motivator. That's just one of my top
I agree.
level skill sets. I am a master motivator.
You
So a
practice
couple of
that?
things. No, it's one of those things I just have naturally.
So that's your gift.
That's my gift. That's my gift. I'm a master motivator. So let me. So you asked me about how do I help people? How do I detect it? You know, Tiger, I'm gonna drive with you, Tiger, because someone's doing their lawn, and it's gonna be too loud. All right, so you guys bear with me. This is real live and in effect here.
You
Straight in
heard?
the streets, getting it done, getting to the Skrilla. And one of the things is getting it done, like we're doing now. No excuse. None. All right, so how do I transfer confidence? Which basically what you're asking me, Tiger. There's a couple of things. One, I work with the willing. So I can change your perspective. I can get you to believe in yourself, but you have to be coachable and willing to listen. If you're not, you kill my energy and you kill my morale. So I had actually, a year and a half ago, I actually had shut down enrollments in my live coaching group. I had gotten a bad group, not bad people, but a bad crop of people in a row, and they just killed my energy. Killed it.
Training.
Yeah. I was said excuses. And here's the people who make excuses. This is why they annoy me. They're very loud and discouraging for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm sitting out. But all right, we're back now. So you got to listen. You got to be coachable, and you have to be adjustable. Are you coachable, self-aware, and adjustable? Because I can shift your mind because people have the same issues. Here go the top 5, Tiger. Procrastination, thinking too far ahead, having too many ideas, lack of organization. We can stop there at the 4. Lack of organization. Once we pinpoint which one of these or all of them that you have, we can then come up with a schedule or a game plan to fix it. But are you going to allow me to dissect you to give you a plan of action? Once you do, it's up. We can fix it. Once you don't, I know that I can't get through to you. But from coaching so many people, I said, people got the same issues, bro. It's not like people have 10, 20 issues. People have these same issues. And all we need to do is dissect it. Then we can nuke it and fix it. So
that's powerful.
Here we are.
That's powerful because it takes a special type of person to be able to endure that. Like for myself, I understand that I can be very empathetic, and I take on a lot of people's energy. That's why
you're an empath. You're an empath.
I, that's why I protect my energy, and I could be rudely obnoxious about protecting my energy. You know what I mean? Because I know that if someone comes with me with bad news, I will absorb that. And in order for me to help them find a solution for it, I have to put myself in their shoes. That's just me. That's how I diagnose and come up with different solutions to problems.
That's real. That's real.
After I get off the phone with them, my day is shot. That energy stays with me unless I offload it somewhere.
That's
So
very self-aware of you to know that. Very
yeah,
self-aware.
knowledge of self, brother. I have to have knowledge of self. So I stopped coaching. I don't do coaching anymore.
I see it.
Hold up.
I see it.
Yeah, I was good at it. I did it
hmm
well, and people saw results. But for my own peace and happiness, I couldn't do it for me.
You got to know what works for you, and you got to know what doesn't work for you. So I call that a pivot.
Mhm.
I call that a pivot. Okay, I have 5 things going. I'm pivoting it out of this thing because this thing isn't serving me. And it's actually distracting me from the other things. Um, Pivoting is important. You got to know when to pivot, and there's a difference between quitting and pivoting. So I respect that, T.
It's interesting, Dre, that you experienced that because as long as you've done it, it's like the medical field where I come from. It's almost like a privilege for you to cite or acknowledge the person that you studied under, that trained you. It's a
Mm,
badge of honor. And when you say, "Oh yeah, I'm a knee surgeon and I was taught by X doctor and I learned under this doctor and I trained under that doctor," like you have to almost say that in order for you to become validated, or for people, because people get on TV and they get on YouTube
mhm.
and then they come up with all. I'm talking about notaries, by the way. In this case, people will come up and say how they learned all this stuff, but they never say where they learned it from. They never say how they developed it. But you have such a long track record in this industry, and then you come across some new coaching clients or some new students, and then they still are resistant to the ideas that you share. I'm actually kind of surprised by that.
Change is tough for people because as adults, there's nobody who can tell us what to do. You have to be want to told what to do as an adult. As kids are, which is why kids and a lot of people, let's say, like at a real estate firm, they'd rather have a new real estate agent than a seasoned real estate agent because the new real estate agent is a sponge that will absorb stuff. The seasoned real estate agent, they have their own way of doing things, even if they are making money. Um, and ego is big, bro. Ego a- and the need to be right.
Mm.
People would rather be right. This goes in any industry. A lot of people would rather be right than make money. The whole naming your company thing, for one that we use, I said, um, people who are artists and creatives love to do artists and creative shit no matter what industry they're in. And this lady called her Utopia Note. I'm like, no one's Googling that, lady. No, all right, you can go with it. Why not just Brooklyn? Why not Brooklyn Heights? She was somewhere in Brooklyn. And then she didn't get any call, then she changed it, then she made money. People love to do things their way, even if it stops the money.
Damn, Tech, don't we experience that?
Does that sound familiar, Tiger?
Now, my thing is this. If you're making money, do what you're doing. But if you're not making money, follow this damn near franchise proven formula
Yes.
and tweak it as you go.
Yeah. Like I tell Tech about this thing that you always say. You're like, do what works now, get fancy later.
Just do it. Because you don't have the skill set at this exact time. And now most people have more skill sets than I have. Ignore what I'm saying and just continue on your own path from there. But not having money and having an immense ego never goes well.
If I can quote you correctly, you said being broke and having an ego is
It's a horrible combination, man. It's terrible.
I got one more question for you, Drake, because I know you got things going on, man, and I appreciate
Sure.
it. I really, really do.
It's all good. We can let's cook,
So
brother.
my question is to you. We had this question from a viewer that said, "Am I charging too little? How
Probably.
do I price my notary service like a boss?"
What are you are they live now with us or are they
No, this was a question that they sent to me on an email.
okay? You
But
probably are.
they were charging. They didn't have anything higher than $50.
Oh yeah, absolutely charging too little. Absolutely. So people charge out of fear, and I've ran studies on this. I've tried to go cheap because I said, maybe no one's gonna pay. But when I do that, you know what happens? People cancel more. No shows. They don't want to pay up front. So I just said I'm gonna keep my price high, get told no more, but just spend more time and money advertising the services. So you have to get over your internal fear that people won't pay you. You have to understand this, that you aren't going to get every call. Even if you are the cheapest, you aren't going to get every call. I think about 20 to 40% is my average yes rate, 20 to 40%. So out of 10 calls, I'll get 2 to 4 for first time clients. So I'm okay with being told no as well. I'm fine with being told no because I have enough freaking invoices in Square that say that someone's going to pay and be happy to pay.
So
when people have,
like you're comfortable with a 20 to 40% closing ratio instead of having a 90 to 95% closing ratio.
Yeah, and another thing, even if you're charging 20 or $40, you're still not going to charge 90% of. You're still going to close 90% of people.
That's
so
true.
let me just throw that up. So yeah. So with a lot of people, so with the guy who emailed you, they probably don't like hearing no. They feel rejected when they hear no, and they probably aren't spending money to advertise because when you spend money, it gives you more confidence that you're going to get your ideal client. A lot of it is internal fear, bro. 80% of this stuff is internal fear. Once you are okay with hearing no, and here's the deal. If someone's going to pay me $175 opposed to $40, I'd rather do one $175 than four $40 appointments. And with my ratio,
that's like 4 appointments right there at $40.
Yeah. And with my ratio that I just gave with 20 to 40%, we're right about that. So yeah, they just got to get over it. They just got to get over it and get help to get over it.
I think a good thing to point out is that you literally there's 2 things that you actually did. You have diligently went out. You were proactive in actually receiving more no's because if you know you're at an 80% closing ratio. At one point you said, hey, look, I don't need this high of a closing ratio. If I increase my price, I'm gonna get more of a premium client, but I will be rejecting or disqualifying, an additional 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's awesome, man. So Dre, thank you again. Hey, plug in what you got going on. You guys, he has the best notary course on the freaking planet, period. If you guys do sign up for if you are a new notary or even if you're an existing notary, I would get back to the basics. His basics may blow your top off just because of he's a very revolutionary disruptor in this industry. Best course I've ever taken, and I've taken many people courses in here, but Dre, plug in your thing, please.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. So, people need the basics, as you said. Our sign and stamp with confidence gets people on track. How to notarize documents, power of attorneys. You're in that portal, Tiger. Wills, loan closing packets. There's PDFs. There's quizzes. It literally shows you step by step, multiple copies of the same documents, just to give you guys different examples on different formats, different paperwork, but it's all the same stuff. It shows you how to notarize documents, price calls, take calls. So our sign and stamp, if you go to mobile notary launch /100, mobile notary launch /100, it's yours. We also now have an audio book and we have an ebook. All of it is there. So if you're on the road, you need some help, bam, grab the audio book. Ebook as well goes along with the audio book. We got everything. But do you have Sabrina? That's what I need to know, Tiger. Does your audience have Sabrina, TEKK?
Word.
Man,
That's
We're
the
in
question.
2000. We're in 2025. You will be extinct if you don't have Sabrina. You will be working too hard if you don't have Sabrina. Sabrina is a game changer. Everyone needs to have Sabrina. And one more thing, back to the money part. You said earlier. I want to put this in real simple terms. Somebody needs a fingerprint taken, an apostille process, a loan closed, a affidavit signed, a power of attorney, a will, estate planning package notarized in your city and state. Someone needs one of these things done. If you aren't making, let's even say $300 a day, $6 grand a month, you have a bad strategy. It's not lack of business. You have a bad strategy. I'm never going to concede to competition. You just don't want to compete.
Mm.
So you need to get a new formula for you to get it. I don't want to hear shit about. People are scared of 12 niggas, fam. 12. Well, I can't make a course. Someone else meant to leave. People are afraid of 12 people. 12 people on Google. 12 people on Instagram. I can't do nothing. Like, what?
Shots fired.
Shake the fear. Love you guys. Get Sabrina. SabrinaAI. Download it. See you guys soon. Holla.
Shout out to the brother Dre, man. Shout out to the brother Dre.
Hey, he was turning up right there.
He was. He went out with a bang, man. He went out with a bang. Oh my God, yo, this show is great. I'm glad we're back, TEKK. I'm glad we're back. I miss this, man.
Yeah, it's the thing, man, because
Start bringing in all the Ghost Squad back on, and the platform that we have created for notaries, man, to voice your opinions. You have a safe place to speak, and this is also a place where you could come get solutions. And yeah, we will be hard on you. That's what swords are supposed to do. Sword, sharpens each other and shit. So yeah, we're not going to tolerate excuses and stuff like that, especially in 2025 with AI and automation and everything like that. So you want to be in a place where you're being pushed beyond your comfort zone and learning new things and cutting edge stuff that's going to give you that advantage to live the lifestyle that you really want to live, man. So with that being said, TEKK, we're about to come on to this, but before we do that, let's just go into a quick commercial break.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where SabrinaAI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Dirty engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
You better circle that money. Welcome everybody to our latest segment, Money Corner with TEKK AMAKU. This is something that is going to revolutionize the way you save, look at money. TEKK is a licensed financial. I don't want to put the words in your mouth, TEKK, but go ahead, talk to them about what the Money Corner with TEKK AMAKU really is, brother.
So we talked about how not only do we help you with the process of making and earning more income. That's just one aspect. How many people are interested in helping you keep it? If you work and work and work and work, you will absolutely make money. And that's what we're here to do. How many people are interested in helping you save it? How many people are teaching you strategies on how to grow it? You see, on one end, there's people who will tell you, yeah, you can absolutely, you have the capacity to earn income and make money. And that's absolutely true. And then you run into a problem where at the end of the month, then there's nothing left over. The problem is not a income issue, it's a saving problem. So that's why we are teaching you these different money corner strategies. So that's what we're all about. So today, what we're going to talk about today, Tiger, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to start this first set of series, these first couple of weeks on the concept of using a credit card as your checking account. You heard that right. I'm going to repeat it. The concept of using your credit card as your new checking account. So stay with me there, family. Stay with me. You know how you have a savings account right now, and you probably have a checking account. Let's say you have accounts with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, your favorite credit union. They're probably offering you a checking account, and then they also offer you, hey, Mr. Client, you can also open up a savings account. I want you to take a second to remove the word checking account. Let's just focus on that word checking account. Checking account, okay? And now we're going to focus on the word savings account. What are the two differences between these accounts? One of the accounts is where your constant daily transactions are taking place. This might be your checking account. And then on the other hand, the other account is where there are fewer transactions taking place, fewer withdrawals, fewer deposits, and then that would be your savings account. Am I right? The problem occurs when this savings account is where we shove money, we save money, we tell ourselves we're not going to spend anything that's in that account, but everything that's in the checking account that's open to the public, that's free. So here's where we take where we apply the concept of money integration. Right now, you're keeping your money segregated right now. You're practicing segregation politics with your own money. Is the dollar that's in your checking account different from the dollar that's in your savings account? In your mind, it is. Does it spend the same way? Can you buy the same candy bar? Can you invest the same money that's in your checking account versus your savings account? You absolutely can. So why are they separate? You see, our education system and our financial service system, banks, i.e. banks, have conditioned us, and I'm guilty of this as well, that this money must be separate. I'm saying, can we all get along? Can we just all integrate all this together? If our goal, in this case, is to grow it, if our goal is to pay down expenses, pay down debts, then we're going to use all of the resources that are available to us so that we can get out of debt much faster, so that we can pay for things much quicker, and then we can have a much more happier lives. So how do we then come to this idea of using our line of credit or credit card? Those two words can be used interchangeably. That's going to now replace our checking account. I hope you guys are following me. Hope you guys are if you're not following, stick with me, fam. Stick with me, family. So these concepts, fortunately, are available to everybody. It doesn't matter if you only have a $500 balance in your checking account or you have $500,000 in your checking account. These concepts can apply to you. Doesn't matter what number that you see in front of you. All that matters is that the concepts, these principles are applied. Let me tell you what happens when you start to use your credit card as your new checking account and use your line of credit as your daily transactions and not your checking account. Let's start by saying this. If you get paid $1,000 and then you have a car payment of $200, so now that withdrawal brings your balance down to $800. We agree? And then you have to pay for gas $100, so now that withdrawal is $100, and now your balance is down to $700. Let's say by the end of the month, by the time you're done with all of your responsibilities, you have $200 left over. So that means that you've now spent or you've expensed $800. Is that correct? So you started with 1,000 and now you're left with 200. All of those transactions took place within your checking account. Once those transactions are completed, let me share something with you. Is that money ever going to come back? You might be saying no, and you'd be correct. Once you've spent that money, once you've expensed it, once you've paid for all of your responsibilities, your bills and expenses, that money is gone, family. Do you agree? That money is never coming back. You'll never see it again. It went to the energy company. It went to the landlord. It went to the car financing company. It went to your groceries and your in your entertainment and then your meals. That money's gone. Let me offer you an alternative. Stay with me, family. Let's take that same $1,000. Only this time, instead of you paying for things, paying for expenses, paying for rent, paying for gas and groceries and bills and entertainment from your checking account, instead of you making those withdrawals from your checking account, you do it from your credit card. Everything that you pay for from your checking account, you substitute it and replace it with swiping your credit card. So that $1,000 that you started with, and then we take away the $200 for your share of the bills, your cable, your internet, your phone, all the way down. And now, like we're using the same example, and at the end of the month, you're left with $200 left over. So you've expensed $800. Same scenario. Only this time, it did not come from your checking account. It didn't come from your savings account. It came from your credit card. This time, the question previously was that money is gone forever. It's to never come back. And I think hopefully you know where I'm going with this. Because you expense it from your credit card, that money can be regenerated. Can it? Can it not? Once you've paid yourself back into your line of credit, now that allotment, that amount of money can now go back to the $1,000. Let's say that was your limit. You know, your limit can be anything. Again, it's not the number. It's just I just want you to focus on the principle. Now that money can be used again, can it? Once you use your credit card, you swipe it. Yes, money comes out, but once you pay back into the credit card, same way that if you got paid and you would make your direct deposit into your checking account, you make the direct deposit back into your line of credit. You can then reuse that money over and over again, can't you? That concept to a lot of people, and even to you, even to me, the first time I heard it, it was very foreign to me, and it took me a couple of times to understand exactly what was taking place. But I'm going to say this again briefly. The money you spend from your checking account every day on the little things, on the gas, on the groceries, on the gum, crossing the bridge, Amazon, $5 here, $6 there, bag of chips, $2. You send somebody Venmo, $20. That's coming from your checking account, and it's never coming back. It's never going to come back. If you never made another deposit, it would never come back. Forever. However, with your line of credit, that money that you spend, same expenses on your rent, Venmo, lunch, that money can now be regenerated. What I'm sharing with you is the proper way to use a credit card. And I'm also, in the same instance, sharing with you how to pay. You ever hear somebody say, you need to pay yourself first? You need to pay yourself. You need to be the first one to pay. Everybody else gets paid. That's how you start. When you change this perspective, now all of a sudden, now you're saving money because you're paying yourself first. You're not paying the landlord first, not paying the financing company for Toyota. You're paying yourself first. When you deposit money back into your line of credit, you are technically paying yourself first. And now you're giving yourself much more of a pot to spend from. You're not segregating from checking the savings. Everything stays together. Everything comes out of one source. For a lot of people, this is a foreign concept, but for a lot of people, it's not. Many people who are bankers, and there's a difference between a banker and somebody who banks. There's a difference. For many people who use this concept, this has catapulted their savings, their approach to spending, and how money works. It's changed and completely revolutionized their approach to how they manage their finances and how they go about spending money and carrying on their daily lives. This is a concept that is very well known. You may hear it by a couple different names. You may hear it called credit line banking, CLB, credit line banking. And that's a concept that was introduced by a man by the name of Bill Westrom, Billwestrom. Maybe we'll get him on the show one day, Tiger. And again, you'll hear the concepts of velocity banking, which is sort of an offshoot of credit line banking. And velocity banking is something that's very popular. A lot of people know about it, and they're maybe a little bit hesitant about it. Velocity banking is designed to pay off debt. You'll hear people say you can pay off 30-year mortgages in 5 to 7 years, if you've ever heard that. And then there's also other concepts called infinite banking. So I just named 3 different financial approaches: credit line banking, velocity banking, infinite banking, and there's a myriad of other ones. All right. They all follow one principle. Again, it's not the amount of money you have that's important. You can have $200 in your bank. You can have $1 in your bank for all I care, and you can still apply this concept. You can have 0 money in your bank. You really could. You know, that's a little bit more advanced, but it's not impossible. It's just the concept. If you just apply the principle, it works. I am somebody who's practiced this for the last 6 years, going on 7 years. It was through trial and error. I was very skeptical at the beginning, but I know that with anything comes skepticism for the very first time. But how do you break through that? How do you overcome those fears? Well, the only way to overcome those fears, and the only way to overcome that level of skepticism is to try it, to see if it works. And probably more importantly is to document your results.
Right? Well, I know for a fact, bro, that you've taught me the concept. I've been practicing this for the last, I'll probably say, 30 days, 30 of, yeah, about 30 days, a little less than 30 days. And I've seen an incredible amount of benefit. One, it's a lot easier because I was juggling credit cards and I was looking at credit cards as debt. Let me just do this. I was juggling a lot of credit cards. You gave me it is a mindset, ladies and gentlemen. So it starts off with the mindset. I always preach knowledge of self, get knowledge of self first. I realized that I was having a problem. I had money coming in, but it was being allocated to so many different places. My mindset was, this is a bill, this is a bill, this is a bill. TEKK told me, just pay everything off on one credit card, like pay all my bills or my expenses on one credit card, but take all the money that I'm getting and dump it into that credit card. So the benefits that I've received, just so you guys know, and again, this is less than 30 something days, is that my credit utilization went down dramatically. And for those that are familiar with credit scores and stuff, that makes up a big part of your credit score. So from my credit usage going down, my points went up, TEKK, I kid you not, like 44 points, like in less than 30 days, right? Two, it gave me a peace of mind because all of my expenses was coming out of one credit card. So I wasn't juggling, credit cards like that anymore. Like, oh, this is coming out of this account. This is coming out of this account. Didn't have to pull the Kevin Hart, the way my banking system works, kind of shit, right? So from experience, it works, y'all. So that's why I definitely wanted to roll out this money corner. But go ahead, TEKK.
Yeah, so the next money corner is going to be very, very fantastic because I want to take this a little bit deeper, and I want to just give you guys a little teaser because I know we've been doing it for a second, but I want you guys I'm going to just spoon feed you a little bit of this, okay? Again, we're going to reframe the whole concept of using a checking account. I'm not saying that checking accounts are evil, savings accounts are bad. All I'm saying is if your goal, and again, we're teaching you how to save money. This is going to be important the next couple of years, this next couple of decades. As AI technology starts to take over, and I just read that, government jobs, people are getting laid off. Tech companies are having these mass layoffs. How to save money is going to be one of the key components of you holding it together, okay? You have to have this level of confidence. But I'm going to give you guys a teaser about what we're going to talk about next week. And the question I want to leave you with is debt. This is the concept I'm going to ask you guys about. Are most Americans in debt or out of debt? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And I want you to answer it to yourself. Are most Americans in debt or out of debt? And if your answer is that they are in debt, then the follow-up question would be, is that debt, is it good debt or is it bad debt? So number one, are most Americans in debt or out of debt? And I think most people know the answer to that because we have a federal government who is very much in debt, right? Our country is very much in debt. But I'm not even going to go to the politics. Is that debt good debt or bad debt? In other words, is that debt under control or is it out of control? So the debt that they're in, if you agree that most Americans are in debt, is that debt under control or is that debt out of control? Is that debt good debt or is it bad debt? So I'm going to leave you guys with those two questions. Think about that, and I'll stay tuned to the next money corner.
Don't think engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
So thank you, guys. That pretty much concludes our show for today. For those that have not booked an appointment or booked a demo to see Sabrina in action, Sabrina is the latest software for notaries. It is designed by notaries, by TEKK and I, and our engineers, and we have created one of the most powerful softwares for the notary industry ever. Sabrina will answer your calls. She will book your appointments for you. And for a very, very limited time, ladies and gentlemen, you will get an optimized website that you really don't have to do anything to. You just plug and play. We will throw that into your package for free. So if you don't have a website, this is the time to get it. Sabrina will answer your phone on an AI level. She will schedule your appointments. We have an agency mode where it makes it very easy for you to dispatch notaries. And then there's automated follow-ups with text and email messages. So if you guys would like to book a demo, go scan this QR code right here, book a free demo, free exclusive demo, doesn't cost you a thing. And we'll be glad to show you how Sabrina can help you bring your notary business to the 21st century of 2025 and beyond. TEKK, any last words, brother?
Yeah, I do have some last words, man. We had Dre on earlier today. If you got a chance to watch that, then go ahead and thanks for joining us, or watch the replay if you're watching this on replay. Yeah, and Dre is somebody who's been in the game for a long time, so he deserves a lot of flowers and a lot of respect, and he's helped a lot of notaries. The one thing I want to say is that there are people who are learning from notaries who charge $30. What can you actually learn from somebody who's charging $30? What can that person actually teach you? Dre is not charging $30. Tiger is not charging $30. What could you possibly learn from them? I just want to leave you with that thought. There's people who are self-proclaimed gurus. Dre has a track record. He has a tree of people who have learned from him, who have gone on to do bigger and better things. And he's happy about that. And he's proud of that. There's people out there who are spreading information, and we know who they are, and they are charging $10. What could I possibly learn from somebody who charges $10? I'm not saying that they're cheap. You do whatever you want to do. But what I'm saying is, if you're a brand new notary in this industry and you have an objective, and I'm not saying your objective is to be a community servant and to be, the pride and joy of your church. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you came in this industry to start a business. Is that right? Did you come here to actually start a business? Well, you can't start. The first objective of any business is to make money. Otherwise, you're not going to be in business for very long. Dre is not teaching you how to charge $10. There's people out there, and the reason why I bring this up is because I was just contacted by, it's fresh on my memory because I was just contacted by, people reach out to you all the time, Tiger. People reach out to me all the time, and I appreciate it. I'm always there to help people. Their number one question, which is what you asked Dre, which is how can I charge more money? I know you're thinking about it. I know it's on your mind. But what I'm saying is, who taught you that you can only charge $30? Who said that? Oh, well, so-and-so said that. Okay, then I think it's time to look for a new lesson. There's a solution there. What can somebody who's only charging you $30 can teach you? They can't. Well, I'm not saying what they can't do, but what I'm saying is that person is probably not teaching you about negotiation. They're not teaching you about how to talk on the phone. They're not teaching you about automation. They're not teaching you anything cutting edge. They're probably teaching you about how to walk into somebody's office and how to do legwork and how to burn yourself into the ground. That's not a business. That's not a business. If you came here to start a business, you joined this industry to start a business for yourself. The number one objective for a startup, because you're still in the startup phase, people. You're not Coca-Cola. You're not Meta. Okay, you're not Amazon. You're still in the startup phase. The number one objective for a startup company is to make money. Otherwise, you're not going to be in business for very long. And just you with your commission and you spending $800 on a printer is not you in business. That's not. Guys, go out there, get in touch with Sabrina. If you don't know, if you're not sure about whether or not it's going to be a thing for you, my recommendation is to try it out. See what it's all about. Learn, educate yourself, inform yourself, learn what it's about. Because for very long, the people who are rewarded are people who take action early. Those are usually the people who walk away with all of the benefits. The people who take action sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure, man. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and happiness. We wish you the very best. We wish you success, prosperity, good health. Find some way to do some type of exercise, whether it's, some jumping jacks at home or, some push-ups, but please do some exercise. Health is very important in this game. Without your health, business and none of that stuff is even worth anything. So we wish you guys the best. You heard?
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where SabrinaAI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.